Audio-Technica was established in Tokyo in 1962. They were designing and manufacturing high-performance phono cartridges, and to this day they continue their audio journey, from designing and creating headphones, turntables, and microphones. Audio-Technica is a brand people are pretty familiar with, and today I'm going to look at their LPA2 turntable. This turntable was lent to me by the great people at Audio-Connection. They are a reseller of Audio-Technica turntables, so you can find the LPA turntable at Audio-Connection in Sydney, and don't hesitate to check out their other gear. Before we begin, I just wanted to say the following. My room acoustics and equipment will be different to yours, so the sound may differ, and sound is a personal and subjective experience. That out of the way, let us begin. So Audio-Technica wanted to produce a higher end turntable, a fine looking turntable, and the LPA2 is that turntable. Designed to reveal purity of analog audio. Assembled from transparent acrylic, the LPA2 is a fully manual belt-driven turntable. They have designed the LPA2 to minimize resonance and also adding a moving coil cart, aka MC cart. And it's the ATOC9XEN. Now, this moving coil is a nude elliptical stylus using high purity PCOCC coils. Now, Audio-Technica are using this cart because they want to try to capture every kind of nuance and detail of your vinyl records, and with nice clarity. Now, I do recommend, if you're getting into or you're looking at buying this turntable, then you're obviously getting pretty serious about your records and your hi-fi journey. So I do recommend having a decent phono preamp or onboard phono preamp to your receiver being pretty decent to get the most out of this cart. Now, I can say, after listening to this turntable for a bit, the sound is very clean and it's crisp. And also the acrylic will turn heads and will get people saying, oh, that's nice. And with it being acrylic and looking as tidy and clean as it is, well, you can reply with, don't touch, hands off. So also I had quite a few people, when I was showing just a photo, I had quite a few people saying, oh, wow. And they wanted to lean in and have a closer look and look at the insides of this turntable, the mechanics of it. And it is pretty cool. Also, the acrylic base and the platter will also help reduce those reverberations that can otherwise affect the sound. The feet are also decent and will help reduce any other vibrations coming through. Now, the feet also have some adjustment to them, so it's important to get your turntable level. So the fact that you can adjust these feet to get your turntable level is also a plus. Okay, so I've had this turntable for a little bit, and I'm going to admit I was a little skeptical on the acrylic, and it is completely grown on me, and I feel like it's kind of from the future. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. And the other question is, do you get fingerprints all over it? And this is what you're probably wondering. Now, once I've got it, it's all set up. Got my record. Now, if I was to listen to a record, I would come, put the record on, unlock the tone arm, move the tone arm across. I would turn it on, hit the speed that I need, 33 or 45, and I would then lower the tone arm and start playing. So my point is, I'm not having to touch the bass, the acrylic turntable. So in terms of fingerprints, no. I don't know why you'd have to, because all I'm doing, and once I'm finished with the record, I'm going to put the tone arm back, lock it into place, lift up my record. I don't need to touch the rest. It's going to stay clean. Don't be, discouraged or think that, oh, it's going to get dirty. No. And I actually think it doesn't show up dust as much as my music core. And it's this piano black, and I like it. I think it's awesome. But it shows up more dust. The other thing, actually, now that I mentioned my music core, which is made in the Project Audio factories, and I've got two turntables that are Project Audio. If you have Project Audio, I'm not here. I have Project Audio. I like them. However, the tone arm on this, really nice. Really nice, and I prefer the Audio-Technica tone arm over my Project Audio tone arm. Now, my music core was close to the same price as the LPA2, and the tone arm on this is a lot nicer than my music core tone arm, which is a Project Audio tone arm. Now, I like Project Audio. I'm not here to try to offend anyone, but if you were to ask me which tone arm do you prefer, I'm going to say, yeah. I've compared. I prefer the Audio-Technica. Just the way it's constructed, it just feels nice. The belt drive, when it starts up, it's nice. It's not struggling, turn the record. It is really well put together. And I like the fact that Audio-Technica, they know it's an acrylic glass looking turntable, and they've put the electronics all in a separate box, which is great. And the lead, they've given you enough length in the lead. You could actually move this and put it in another spot of your TV unit or your console unit. So you're just showing off the turntable. Also, when it came to the card and the turntable, now, in terms of music, well, I listen to lots of different music, and I liked the sound I was getting out of it. Now, as I mentioned, it was very clean, crisp, detailed sound. So I was listening to Terminator, Metallica, Enya, Cyndi Lauper, Lord Huron. So there's a lots of, quite a versatile piece of listening. And at no point did I go, that doesn't sound any good. I was actually more like, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, go have a look. If you're spending this kind of money, you're obviously getting pretty serious about your record collection. And it is really nice when you actually upgrade, because in some way, when you get a new piece of equipment, when it comes to hi-fi, especially if you make a significant kind of jump, it kind of reinvents your music again. And you will go, I didn't hear that before, or that's getting more pronounced, or wow, it's brought a whole nother range to it. That is awesome. and getting into something like this, and you say you've got a turntable that's 1200 and you're going to something like this, well, I'd say you'll notice a difference. So on that note, enjoy your movies, your music, your hi-fi, because it's all there to be enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.